As a first-time Pixel user, I've heard lots of great things about the display, the user experience, and most importantly, the camera on Pixel devices. So I had high expectations. After using the Pixel 9 Pro XL for the past few months, does it live up to the hype? And most importantly, is it worth it for you? First, let's talk build quality, and I'm going to start with the color, which is my favorite part of this phone. The pink color here, I feel, in my opinion, is just the best color option for the Pixel 9 Pro XL. And yes, of course, I have some bias for this color, but I think it just looks great. I'm going to the feel in the hand, and you're going to be paying top dollar for this phone. And most definitely, I'll tell you right now, it feels great in the hand. It just feels like the price you're going to be paying for it. And you're not going to hold this and think, oh, this is a toy. No, you're going to hold this and tell yourself that, yes, I spent money on a good, solid device. And right here on my table, I have three flagships. Of course, the Pixel 9 Pro XL in the middle here, the iPhone 16 Pro Max, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra on my left. And one thing I really like about the Pixel 9 Pro XL here is that even though it's a massive phone, I think it's like 6.7 inch or something like that, it's not as big or unwieldy to hold like, say, something like the iPhone 16 Pro Max here, which this phone is a proper Max phone, like it feels big. S24 Ultra here is such a massive phone. And if I just like put it over the Pixel 9 Pro XL, you can see how much it just covers the phone completely. So I'm going to start with the first thing that I dislike about the Pixel 9 Pro XL, and it's the sides. It's the same thing that I dislike about the iPhone 16 Pro Max as well, is that they have like this super glossy side to them. And as someone who is very sensitive to texture, it is really, really annoying. Unlike, let's say, the S24 Ultra here, which does retain that matte feeling on the side, which just feels good overall to hold. And going on to video mode and the Pixel 9 XL Pro XL, well, a mouthful here, definitely shoots video as well, and I'm walking as fast as possible to go to the Petronas Twin Towers view, as you can see there. And stabilization is also pretty okay. I would say it's a little bit below something like, say, my iPhone 16 Pro Max that I have right here, but I would say for the price range and the quality, if you're not comparing it side by side like I am for almost every single shot, then I would say the video quality is also pretty okay here. So this is just a 2x crop there, and this is a 5x crop there. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a switch when you sort of a jag when you switch between cameras, and this is just the stabilization on the 5x there. And I really like how it locks the stabilization, which is a very nice feature. And I'm just going to go back to the 1x, and just for fun, let's go to the 0.6x right here. So yeah, let me know what you feel about the day video test here of the Pixel 9 Pro XL. But I would say for me, just looking at it from the back of the camera here, and even when I usually take it to the computer as well, it always looks like very nice. I'm just gonna go, it's so much fun just to like go there. Since I still have all these flagships on the phone, I'll tell you for now for sure, the portrait mode on the Pixel 9 Pro XL, trash. It's not great at all. And I think when I did go to the subreddit, or when I spoke to Pixel users, they were like, the Pixel, like the portrait mode is really crappy. So I was like, what? That's just something that everybody agrees to. So most times I just find myself either not taking a portrait mode photo on the phone and just using Google Photos, or most times just not taking a portrait mode photo at all. So yeah, if you have all the pitchforks, raise them up now, go to the comments, let me know what you feel. Because again, I watch all the Western YouTubers and all the North American YouTubers, and they're like, the Pixel is the best. And it is, it's good, but it's not great. So let me know all your thoughts. I cannot wait to see all of them in the comment. And the display here on the Pixel 9 Pro XL is big, it is bright, and here I'm watching an HDR video on YouTube, and it is absolutely beautiful. Like, you are not going to get any more better than this when it just comes to the display quality on a phone. It has a high refresh rate as well, which means you're getting the best quality there. And apart from that, in bright everyday sunlight, when I take it out into the public, I was actually even surprised that it is brighter than my iPhone 16 Pro Max sometimes. Now, I'm not sure if it's anecdotal, it's definitely not like a scientific test or anything, but I definitely noticed that the screen here is bright. Absolutely top tier display. You cannot ask for better. And this is the front camera test of the Pixel 9 Pro XL at night. I'm using the front field light because it is like really, really, really dark, and I think I can be able to control, so maybe not as bright as it was before. It is like, I think like 1, almost 2 a.m. in the morning here, and I have like of course, the KL skyline behind me here. But what do you think of the video quality now? I think maybe I should be able to turn this off. I'm just doing this live, I'm just, why not? I'm just exploring all of the user interface here. Reset all, white balance. Oh wow, yeah, so there's quite a few settings I can actually like do here. I think I'm just not going to fully go into it because this is not like a full video test. But yes, let me know what you feel of the video quality here at night with some fill light, because without the fill light it's like completely dark. So I just wanted to have that here. So let me know what you think of the audio quality as well on the Pixel 9 Pro XL. Okay, next let's talk battery life. And the battery life on the Pixel 9 Pro XL here, I am going to say it was very surprising, and surprising positive, because I have here the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, the iPhone 16 Pro Max. The iPhone 16 Pro Max has got great battery life, but the moment I turn on the camera and I start snapping a few photos, the battery life definitely does drop, and I take a lot of photos, I'll tell you that. And the Xiaomi 14 Ultra here is also the same, and even worse on the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. It's got this beautiful 1-inch camera sensor. It takes amazing photos. You take a few photos and the battery life is like, yeah, I give up. So I was pleasantly surprised that on the Pixel 9 Pro XL right here, the battery life was great. I was getting most of the time 1 day, full 1 day, or sometimes even almost 2 days of battery life. And that is, I think, where the Pixel here really won me over, right? In all the flagships. But where I think I did notice a few inconsistencies is in charging the phone. And to demonstrate that, I actually have like my super amazing Cooktech 20 power bank here. I made a video about it. Go check it out if you want to check it out. And if I, let's say, turn off the screen of the Pixel 9 Pro XL here and I plug it in, one thing I noticed was that this power bank can charge at a stupid fast speed, right? Here on the Pixel 9 Pro XL, it takes so long to charge. And yeah, it says it's fast charging and it's supposed to be fast charging. But I think there's a weird thing that Google did with their Pixel charging where it required like a certain amount of volts, and most chargers don't have that. So just for comparison, I'm just going to grab my Xiaomi 14 Ultra here and I'm going to plug in my power. And I mean, here is just, you can literally see it go up like 80%, and before you know it, it's like 100%, right? So one thing I definitely noticed with the Pixel 9 Pro XL is just that when it comes to charging, there were some fast chargers that it worked great, it charged fast. And there were other chargers, like I think my MacBook Pro charger, which is like a 140 watt charger, it will take 4 hours to charge like the Pixel 9 Pro XL. It just wasn't consistent, and there is no charger that comes in the box with this phone. So if you don't get a proper charger, you really have to pay attention to the charger you get. So if you're in the US, for example, make sure you get it from the Google store so that you can get a charger that will charge this fast. Or if you're in other markets, just make sure to pay attention, close attention. I think if there's enough comments there, I might actually put some chargers that work well with the Pixel 9 Pro XL. And when it comes to heat, one of the things I definitely praise this phone for is that it does not really necessarily get hot, even when I'm scrolling social media. When I'm taking photos, yes, sometimes the edges and frame of the phone does get warm, but I wouldn't say it's toasty and uncomfortable to hold. Much like everybody else in the world, I've heard so much about the amazing Pixel camera, how great it is. I was disappointed, but before that, let me go into the camera interface. And when we look at it here, the first thing that definitely spoke to me when I first used this is just how simple it is. And if it remained simple, that would have been great, except it is simple, but at the same time, very complex. So let me explain. At the bottom, it has this switch to switch between video and photo mode, okay? That is simple enough. If I go back into, let's say, photo mode here, suddenly I have all of these other things. Okay, maybe that is still okay. Photo mode, video mode, it's still the same. The problem now goes into if you try to change any settings, right? So let's say I want to tap to focus, right? I tap, it focuses. But let's say I want to change the exposure, which I can do on almost any other camera, right? I'm just not going to tell you about it. I'm going to show you as well. Let me launch the camera here on my S24 Ultra, right? So I go into photo mode, I tap on it, and then boom, you get like an ability to actually change the exposure right there, right under the focus, right? There is no such thing here on the Pixel, right? It drove me mad. Like, I think when I first launched, I was like, how the hell do I change my exposure? This is, I think, where I say it is simple and then it is complex at the same time, because to be able to change your exposure, you have to go into the settings at the bottom there. Now only you get another option, right? And then there's like brightness at the bottom here. There's like shadow, all of that. Now only you can change that. But I cannot tell you how many times I missed my shot. And now, okay, let's say I have already changed my exposure, right? My brightness, they call it brightness here, right? And I want to go back. How do I go back? Do I tap on the screen? No. Tapping on the screen just does what? It just focuses. How do I, oh, now I have to hit back, and now I'm back in the interface again. So there's just, I don't know, there's so many things like this that I'm describing. And again, I'm not a Pixel user. This is my first Pixel. If you've used other Pixels in the past, maybe that makes sense to you, but literally every other phone I can try. Let me bring out the Xiaomi here, right? The Xiaomi 14 Ultra, right? Okay, so the phone is here. Let's say it's here. I tap on this. Right by the side, what can you do? Boom. You can adjust the thing right with the focus right there. I don't need to go into any menus. I don't need to do anything. It's right there. I'm not ranting. It was just a whiplash for me. And I think this is one thing I'll get to when I get to the interface of the Pixel 9 Pro XL there. But yeah, make up your mind, Google. Do you want the settings to be simple or do you want them to be complex? Because right now they're just like a mishmash of simplicity. So the interface is very clean, but at the same time it's very complex. Oh, I've not even told you if I want to change like my shooting settings. So if I want to change my shooting settings, you have all these settings below here and you can adjust it or you can go into more settings. And there's general, then there's pro, but then there is no dedicated pro mode here. So if you are a pro person like me, then you needed to like always go into like the same settings for pro, which makes sense. But when I'm in a pro mode, I generally just want to be in the dedicated pro mode, which almost all the other phones have, right? But it's just not. So yeah, I think this is where in the interface, even before I snapped one photo, I was extremely frustrating and was just something that I guess because I'm not a Pixel user, I just wasn't used to it. I'm still not used to it actually. Okay, taking a look at the photos I actually took with the Pixel 9 Pro XL, and it's an acquired taste. That's what I'll tell you for sure, right? So I've had all of this hype about Pixel camera and how great it is. And one thing I immediately noticed is that Pixel photos that I take prioritize the HDR look, right? Which means that instead of exposing for the entire photo, it will expose for the highlights or it will expose for the shadows and then have highlights. So it was either that or it will just have a very super flat HDR looking image where there's no shadows at all. Everything is boosted up. And maybe to people that are used to that look, that works. But again, as someone who has access to not just, you know, the Pixel here, I have access to the S24 Ultra, I have access to the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, I have access to the iPhone 16 Pro Max with its photographic styles. I think I'm so spoiled for choice, and I've already used so many different kinds of cameras that I can definitely see that the Pixel 9 Pro XL is not the best phone camera. And I think it drove me crazy. Like, I remember meeting up with another reviewer here in Malaysia and talking to him and telling him that, hey, what do you think about the Pixel photos? And he's like, no, what do you think? And I was like, well, I don't know. It's not as great as I thought it would be. And he was like, same. And I was like, right? That's why I say it's an acquired taste, right? Which meant that instead of then comparing it versus all these other phones and saying the Pixel takes bad photos, you know, I had to step back and tell myself that, you know what? I have to now examine the Pixel photos on their own and treat it as an independent camera, not as one I'm comparing to other cameras. And when I did that, I could see where the Pixel cameras excel and where they shine, right? So again, the HDR works really great, you know, if you're taking photos in bright conditions. And I was really surprised when I took night photos and I just saw how great the photos turned out to be. And of course, when it just comes to like the photos, you snap and take it. If you're not looking at any other camera, you're not looking at any other phone, it's great. It's great, I'll tell you that. But if I am, well, I would say the day photos and the Pixel are definitely where I think it is not up to par. It definitely is not up to par to my Xiaomi 14 Ultra with a 1-inch sensor. I would say maybe it's the same as the iPhone 16 Pro Max that I have right here. But when it comes to the night photos, because of the day photos, I thought, yeah, the night photos are not going to be great. Like, I was pleasantly surprised at the kind of detail I got. And of course, I have night sight here on the Pixel, which automatically defaulted to night sight. And the processing also took a long time, which is something I'm not used to on the other phones I have here, is that I'm used to snapping them. Maybe 1 or 2 seconds, it's done. But on the Pixel, I definitely noticed some photos pushing about 3-4 seconds to just process the photos. But what you do get out of that is just photos that look great, especially. And I'm on the front camera of the Pixel 9 Pro XL here. And I think from what I've seen from the Pixel videos so far, they've been impressive. Definitely up there with some of the best videos I've used on phones. And here, you just let me know what you feel. I'm just walking here. It's not as hot today, thankfully, in sunny Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And yeah, let me know what you feel of the sound as well. But yeah, from Like just like I said, what I've seen with the Pixel phones, they've been fantastic so far, and I've been kind of impressed. Not bad, Pixel, on this, video quality here. Not bad. Next, let's talk about the software. Now, much like the camera, another thing that I've also heard is the software. The Pixel software is great. It's fast, and absolutely 100%. The software here is so fast, it's so responsive. It's one of the fastest like phones I've used. There's barely like any lags in the interface, and whatever it is I'm doing, it's like it's super quick, it's super fast. And I have to admit, like when you use something like this, almost any other phone you use, you can notice where there's like so much animation. So if I bring my iPhone here as well, you can already notice, like even though this is like 120 hertz refresh rate, like it doesn't feel as like snappy as the Pixel 9 Pro XL, right? So something that I am not used to, again, on other devices that on the Pixel is a breath of fresh air, is that I already have Android 15 here on the phone. You're front line and center, especially with like the long update cycle that Google has promised. I think if I remember correctly, it's like 7 years. So yeah, you're definitely getting like long access. And even there's a dedicated app literally just for screenshots, which is great. Like you can search for screenshots. Let's see, if I say Malaysia, for example, I type Malaysia here into the screenshot, boom, there, a screenshot with Malaysia in it. Like, it's so great. Like, it's like, why don't more phones have this feature, right? So that's another thing you get here. It's a Pixel exclusive. Another one, it's like, if I'm playing music in the background, for example, it will pick up the music and it will be able to give me all of that. Now, the speakers on this phone are absolutely amazing. And let me play a quick sample here for you to just give you a little bit of a teaser for just how nice the speakers are here. Definitely not gonna stop dancing, because yeah, the sound speakers here are just great. Like if there is any part of the Pixel that I would immediately, if you ask me like if I'm going to build my perfect phone, what will I take from the Pixel? Yeah, the speakers. Speakers are great. Much like everything in life, the positive is also almost always the negative, right? Because it is so bare bones and it is so fast, it also lacks some certain features that I am so used to. Like when I don't get it, I'm kind of like whiplash, like what? We don't get it? So I think the most important one here is just like a gallery app, right? So let's say if I go into Google Photos here, it has everything, everywhere all at once, right? And to be able to like actually see the photos on my device, I would have to go into on my device here. I'd have to go into camera, and then only I'll be able to see the photos on my own camera gallery. That's too many steps, man. I just want to open like my Photos app, and I want to be able to see all of my photos. Like open my Photos app, see all of my photos. That is not from everywhere, right? And I think this is where, okay, then an alternative to that was that I then went, I downloaded the Gallery app on the Google Play Store. So now I have all of my photos. The problem with the Gallery app is that it's too bare bones as well, which means that there are some certain features that, see that? I cannot even like swipe down to close it. Like a photo is open, right? I can't swipe down to close it. Like just to prove to you that I am not criminally insane. Maybe I am, I do have ADHD. Let's say I have this photo open on my iPhone, right? If I pull it down, boom, it closes like that, right? I cannot do that on the Gallery app. So yeah, even the Gallery app here has limitations that you just, because it's a workaround, right? So I think that's one of the first things, is that there's just so many apps. And of course, the big daddy here is my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, where you can download something like Home Up. So Home Up, for example, is where if I open an app and I press my volume button, you can see my volume animation there, how nice and fancy the animation is on my volume. Because Home Up, you can customize practically any part of your Samsung device, and the customizations are so deep. And yes, you can technically customize stuff here on the Pixel as well, but it's just very limited to like just maybe your home screen, for example, and your wallpaper, and that's it. And this is the back camera test. Now it's already pretty late here at night here in Kuala Lumpur, and yeah, so you can already see some of the lights there, and I can already notice like the stabilization. When I move, there's kind of a little lag between when I move and when like the camera actually move. And if I go into the 5x mode there, on the back of the camera, it doesn't actually look bad. And one thing I like is just how it locks the, like it's very stable, so it's very locked in. And I'm just gonna go to the 1x and just to try it. Let's go to the 0.5x, which is not bad at all. Like, of course, I've not gone to the camera not gone to my laptop, so I don't know how it's going to look there, but yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. If I go to the 5x there, that's Pavilion, which is one of the popular malls here in Kuala Lumpur. And there is the Twin Towers. Of course, it is already turned off. Usually that is turned on and it's very bright, as you could have seen in the day test. But yes, let me know what you feel of the quality here. I'm going back to the 0.5x, which doesn't, honestly, just from the back of the camera judging here, doesn't look that bad at all. But yeah, let me know what you think of the video quality at night of the Pixel 9 Pro XL right here. And I learned a new word yesterday, which is Sonder, S-O-N-D-E-R, which is, you know, every single person in those cars going there, that person walking there. If you pan all the way here, there's like another car going there, if I'm not mistaken. Every single person here has a life, and they have dreams, and they have families, and they have, you know, all of these things that they look forward to. And I just learned that the name of, you know, this feeling that I feel of, wow, like looking at everybody and thinking, wow, everybody has a, you know, different life and interconnected things that they think about. That feeling is called Sonder, which I think was just a pretty nice thing to learn. And I like the train there. I'm into trains, and you can see there's a train there. If we go back to the 0.6x, that's like how far it is. Quickly go back before the train goes. Yeah, boom, there it is. So yeah, we have learned a new word today, and we've also tested the Pixel 9 Pro camera today. So let me know. Just gonna quickly switch this to the back as well, so you can see how it's gonna be if I'm vlogging. We're very sweaty. It's very hot here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. But yes, let me know what you feel of the quality here on the Pixel 9 Pro XL. I always like to say there are three constants in life. It's death, it's taxes, and it's Galaxy AI. But this is a Pixel video, so let's talk about Gemini, which is the AI feature here on the phone. You just swipe like that from the bottom, and you start getting the thing where it starts picking up what you're saying and all of that. Well, I never used it, right? I never used it. I have a ChatGPT subscription. I use that almost daily. I, in fact, have a ChatGPT Plus where I pay for it monthly. So I never use Gemini, even though technically with the Pixel 9 Pro XL here, it comes with like 1 year, if I remember correctly, of Gemini Pro, which is the advanced version. But the AI feature I do use constantly though is the circle to search. You tap and hold, if you're not familiar, on the home screen. You press translate there, boom, translate, which is how I use the phone most of the time, right? So yeah, circle to search, great. I use this feature all the time. There's also Pixel Studio, which is what you use to like generate all these images, and which is what people mean when they say AI, right? Yeah, I never use this. I'm not the target market. Leading us now to the most important part of this video, right? Which is like, is the Pixel 9 Pro XL for you? Is it worth it? Like, if you're someone who has choices, right? All of these options are sitting before you, then it just depends on what ecosystem you are in. If you're in the Google ecosystem, so you have the Nest Hub, you have smart speakers and all of that, then go with the Pixel 9 Pro XL, right? It sort of fits into all of the system, the ecosystem already. If you're someone who has Samsung devices in the past, or you have Samsung devices at home, like your TV or your fridge or any of that, then I would be recommending the S24 Ultra for the same price, right? Or if you're someone in the iOS ecosystem, so which means that you probably have a MacBook somewhere, an Android phone and a MacBook. So it's not uncommon to still have a MacBook and be in the ecosystem, and probably maybe a AirPods Pro or AirPods Max and still use a Pixel. It's just that it will be very difficult in some things like continuity. So maybe it will make a lot more sense if you're using Windows, for example, which allows you to be able to, hand over your messages, have a universal clipboard, just like iOS devices and macOS devices have, right? So that might be something to consider. If not, then if you just need that comfort of the iOS system and you have a similar price and you're considering it, I would still recommend you get the iOS device anyway. But wrapping up is the Pixel 9 Pro XL here. I always keep wanting to say it and my brain just glitches out, right? Is this phone here worth it? Ultimately, you remove all of those other things. This is the only phone you're thinking of in your mind. You don't want any other phone. Like I know one of my long-term subscribers here on YouTube, Mikal, who loves the Pixel. Every single time he's always telling me about the Pixel. And he had a problem with his Pixel 9 Pro XL where he had to return it because there was like a rattling sound. And that was one of the problems that was, common, which he then had to get a refund and get a new device. So, there are some cases like that as well. So it might not be smooth sailing. So it will also be good for you to do some research as well to see what are some cases. Do you live in a country that there's official Google support? Thankfully, in Malaysia now, we have that. We did not used to have that. So Michael, who is in Poland, he can return it because he bought it from the Google store. If you're in a country that doesn't have an official Google store and you buy it and then you start hearing sounds, as we like to say in Nigeria, Oyolowa, which means that you're on your own, OYO, on your own. So that's something to consider as well, is that, yeah, if you buy it and then you have a hardware issue, then, you know, you're not going to have that support. But if you're in a country that does have Google Store officially, then you're Gucci, you're good. And I would say maybe just try it out first, and, you know, probably you can use your return window to be able to return it if you don't like it. I've spoken for almost an hour now, so I'm tired. I want to end this video. So yeah, thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. It's been great having you here. It's been great, you know, just talking about my long-term use of the Pixel 9 Pro XL. It's a long one, but this is who I make the video for anyway. You know, people like me who like watching long videos, who are extremely obsessed about what they want to buy or what they are interested in. So they will watch even the most longest video from this guy who calls himself Captain Awesome in Malaysia, who is Nigerian, who is making a video about the Pixel 9 Pro. They'll watch that shit to the end, right? So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you really like what I do here and you have some spare cash, you can buy me a coffee. I have links below in my description. You can subscribe here on memberships. You can leave a super thanks comment. All of those things really go a long way in just, you know, helping me out financially. But even other than that, even if it's just a comment you leave, it's just a like you like, you subscribe so you can get more future videos. You check out the Pixel 9 Pro setup guide that I did, which will tell you all of the tips. So if you eventually end up buying a Pixel 9 Pro XL or Pixel 9 Pro or Pixel 9, you have tips as well that I made. So you can just do all of that and that will be great as well. But until next time, please text me when you get home so I know you got home safe. And I've been your Captain of Awesome. This is Geekception, and I'll catch you next time. Don't forget to stay awesome. Bye.
And thank you to everyone for making it all the way to the end of this video. This is a long one. It's like 29 minutes, and I actually edited down from 39 minutes, so it was even way longer than this, trust me. And I think I recorded for like an hour, and it's taken me like a month to put it out because I've been busy with like a campaign, a campaign. Again, since you made it all the way to the end of the video, and in the credits you get to see all of the upcoming you know, content that is coming soon, and this is definitely one of the ones that I've been really excited, and I cannot wait to show you when it's ready to be live. But yes, how have you been? How has your life been? I think I only posted like twice last month, which ironically I also made the most I've ever made on YouTube, like via AdSense on YouTube as well. So, you know, it do be like that sometimes. So please let me know how life has been as well. For today's end credit hashtag, let's put hashtag December to remember. So hashtag December to remember. So, you know, I will know that you made it all the way to the end of the video. But yes, please tell me, what are some of the things you've been excited about? What are some of the things that you are happy with? How's your life going? For me, I've been obsessed with American Truck Simulator. Well, not American, Euro Truck Simulator 2. And I'm even playing it in like the full VR thing, which has been really fantastic. I've really enjoyed like playing it recently. But yes, please, I would definitely love to know what is going on with you. And I really hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope you take care of yourself. I really hope you know that I care for you very much. And there's lots more coming soon, and I hope you take care. And hey, there's a Patreon. I mean, they've been Patreon for a while, but I'm really pushing it now. So if you'd like to support me there as well, that would be great. That would be fantastic. That makes me to be able to dedicate time to make videos like this, which are like 30 minutes long, right? All right, that's enough yapping. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to stay awesome. Bye.